Hi, if you are a course creator, service provider, or coach and you're doing all this marketing and you're still not bringing in clients, you might be making one of these mistakes. Keep watching to learn more. Hi, my name is Amanda. I've been a freelance social media manager since 2020, and I've worked behind the scenes of plenty six and seven figure launches, and I know what it takes when it comes to online marketing and how to drive leads and sales using social media. The number one thing that I noticed is that working online specifically, I've noticed that a lot of people do this, and that is that the messaging is for everyone. If you've been following me on Instagram, by the way, this is like my first YouTube video, and I've been on Instagram since like 2018, marketing my services, and I went full time in 2020. The biggest thing that I notice is that people will market to everybody, and I think that the biggest reason why is because they think that's how they're going to drive leads. And if you've been following me for a long time, I've launched so many different services like a podcast, email list, VIP days, courses, workshops, and things like that. And I think the reason why people get confused about that is because you can launch different products and different services, but for each one you need to have a target audience. And what I mean by that is, like, if it's a course, it's like probably for people who are going to DIY, the solution that you're giving them, right? So then that messaging should be like, oh, DIY, your finances, or your um a cookbook, if they're gonna if you help them, make cookbooks and stuff like that. And so I think that's the biggest thing, is just like targeting everyone. And by the way, I'm looking at my notes, so just in case you see my iPad right here. um but I think that that is the biggest thing of, like, appealing and targeting everyone. And think the reason why people do this a lot is just because you have different offers, right? So like if you have a workshop, if you have a course, or you have like a VIP day, it's probably going to be more expensive than a course, obviously. So I think that those are like the biggest things that I notice. And you just have to remember, for each offer, it's going to be a different type of audience, but the main people that you should be targeting, and the main message is, it's going to be different, right? So you have your main message and you have your main target audience, and then you're going to have one for each offer. So I think that's where there's like a big disconnect. So if you need me to talk more about that, let me know. um the second thing is focusing on features and not transformation. I think a lot of times I'm so guilty of this too, honestly. It's basically like, if you have a new course or a new workshop, you're like talking about, oh, like the 60 minutes are going to be all talking about finances and how to reach your goals and how to make more money and how to save more money. But instead of doing that, you should, give a story about, your workshop. Like, I remember when there was a time where I couldn't pay my credit card bills, and I was knee deep in financial ruin. And so, like, when you compare that story to, like, oh, this workshop is going to be 60 minutes, people have a clear idea and can resonate more with the second one. And also, like, it's a story. And if you guys notice, like, I always said this before, like, if you've been following me on Instagram for a while, it's like, when you're talking about your offer, it's more like a movie, where it's like you're telling them a story to get them involved and to get them wanting more. So I think that's like the biggest thing, is just focusing on um, the features instead of focusing on the transformation. And what I mean by transformation is by talking about the story, like why you're creating this, who is it for, why is it, sorry, excuse me, why do they need this, and things like that. The third mistake, looking at my notes, is inconsistent marketing presence. I am so guilty of this. I think that for me, my biggest thing is like I go in between like doing blogs, podcasts, videos. I was doing a lot of short form videos like TikToks and things like that before I had my kid, and then I had my kid, and I was like, so I need to restructure my marketing and things like that. And I think that happens to everybody, right? Like life happens. If you're a mom and you're watching this, oh my gosh, like I praise you so much. Like running a business and being a mom, it's not for the weak. I am literally almost on gonna cry when I say this, but I think it's just being inconsistent is so true. I think the biggest thing for me why I have been able to work with repeat clients is because I always stay in contact, whether it's through email, whether it's through, messaging them or like commenting on their content on social media. I think that's the reason why I've been super lucky and I've had a lot of repeat clients, helping them with their social media or helping them with their email marketing or, their marketing strategy and things like that. So I would say the biggest thing if you are a mom like me and you just became a new mom, inconsistent marketing presence is a huge thing, but don't over deliver and like spread yourself too thin, like do what you can do best. Like if that's blogging because it's easier to write at night, then that is so much better than not doing anything. Or like podcasting versus if you can't do video content. So I think that would be the biggest like support that or biggest advice that I would give to you. Okay, and the next number 4, I'm like, this is so true, and I've talked to so many clients about this, and I think the reason why a lot of us don't do this is because we just don't have time, and this is why it's really important to outsource your marketing or, just have a plan for yourself that you're absolutely dedicated to, no matter how you're feeling, no matter if you're not motivated or not. And that is neglecting the follow up system. I feel like I have been really lucky with this. Like, in personally in my business, I have always followed up. Like, even if somebody didn't sign up to work with me on like my VIP days or work with me on like my retainer marketing services, I always like followed up with people. And what I mean by this is, oh my gosh, like I'll just give an example. Like, so for my daughter, I'm booking a photo shoot for her birthday, and oh my gosh, like she never followed up with me like once, and I'm like waiting for her to follow up with me, and she never did. And I was like, I couldn't even find her email because I was like, I know like the general name, but I never actually looked it up. Sorry. And so, anyways, yeah, I just really would have appreciated if she followed up with me. I feel like a lot of service providers feel like they are doing like they're nagging people because I've also felt that way too. But at the same time, I've always followed up no matter what. And I think that if you can take the time to follow up with that client, whether it's through email, commenting on their Instagram page, liking their content, sharing their content, oh my gosh, we totally know like who you are. Like, I have followed up with clients for years and they have hired me like a year or 2 years later to help them with their marketing because I was still following them. I was still engaging with their content. And so, if you are a course creator, coach, a service provider, do not underestimate the follow up system. People love it, people will remember you, people will be so grateful to you. And I think that this is one of the biggest mistakes. Like, people can do marketing and then they just do like the big stuff, like, oh, I'm going to announce my launch. And then they don't do anything after that. Like, I know this is probably you too. Selling the session and not the outcome. So I've been guilty of this too for things that I have done, but I think the biggest thing is just focusing on selling you're focused so much on selling the course or selling the service, and you're not really focusing on the outcome. So like, what do they walk away with? What are they going to be feeling like when they after they have your services, or your course and things like that. And what I like to think about this is like just offering a story. Like, I feel like that has always really resonated with people. So like, how will they feel when they buy your course or services? Like, for instance, oh, you can send an email or write this in an Instagram post or something. Or if you message them on Instagram, like, hey, how do you want to feel after I solve XYZ? And then it's like, let's say they want more clarity or something, that whatever that problem they're facing. And then you're just going to be like, okay, well, at the end of this, you're going to start to feel peace of mind. You're going to start to feel relieved that this is now taken care of. If they're constantly staying up late at night thinking about what they're gonna be cooking for dinner all week, that's probably not a good thing, right? And so like, sell a story of when you buy my recipe book, you're gonna be able to finally sleep at night, so that way you don't have to wake up in the morning automatically wondering what you're gonna be cooking breakfast, lunch, and dinner for your whole family, right? Or you're gonna finally feel relaxed because you know that everything is taken care of. So I would focus more on like creating a story around that and make it super believable. I mean, if you're the expert in, whatever it is that you're selling, then you should absolutely know how to do this. Okay, so basically, to end this video, because my goal is to like post more YouTube videos, and I'm sorry if I'm not gonna be able to edit this all. I am just one person and a mom running a business, so hopefully, if this grows bigger, then I can hire a team. But I would say, um, if you don't mind these unedited, let me know. But the biggest thing is, people like, you're targeting everyone, focusing on the futures and not the transformation, aka you're not selling a story. Inconsistent marketing experience, like presence, sorry. Neglecting the follow-up system and selling the session and not the outcome. And again, I would say the story. So like, what is the story of um what it is that they're going to be receiving afterwards? um yeah, I think that's something that not a lot of people are doing in their marketing, because my gosh, like, I can come up with so many stories, but I don't also want to talk about my clients too, because it's like, I don't want to blast them. But yeah, I think that if you even concentrate on just one of these mistakes, and then you try to do better, whether it's like, creating a better follow-up system, like writing down all the people that didn't sign up that were interested, or if you have their email list, and then creating a new um tag on your CRM, and then like, hey, and then sending those people like, you clicked on this but you didn't purchase, can you tell me why? And things like that, that will make people want to work with you, because it's like, you're actually interested. And I feel like a lot of people do not do that. So with that being said, I would love to send you to some free resources, and also if you want to inquire about working with me. But the first thing is like, if you want a free launch plan template, I'm going to leave that in description. And then the other one is not free, but you could go and visit. I'll put the link to Done For You Marketing VIP Day. So this is essentially like, if you already have an offer and you want help on like creating the email sequence, setting up the landing page in your email opt-in, and then getting an ad strategy that's for you. This is going to be the perfect VIP day. Like I said, it's done for you for your offer. And I know, like, anybody could do this, but this is like really hands-off approach. So if you don't want to do this, like, let's say you've already launched like 7 things in the past few months and you're kind of just tired, this is really, really good, and it can save you so many hours. So with that being said, definitely check that out. Feel free to ask me any questions on Instagram. I'm trying to upload more YouTube than do Instagram, because I personally just feel like I've done this too. I was creating Instagram videos, and I think that's a really good entry point, but I don't think it has longevity because it sucks that they don't like last there for a long time compared to YouTube. And I think the biggest reason why is just YouTube. I just feel like it adds more authority. And I've always talked to my clients about this. And so it's like, this is kind of me, making sure that I'm actually doing what I'm saying. So keep me accountable. Thank you so much. Bye.